Today we are going to read Roxana's letter. It is a story that is not easy to tell because it involves the ultimate breakdown of trust, the kind that leaves a mother standing in the wreckage of her own home, looking at the two people she loved most and realizing she no longer recognizes either of them. This is a journey into a dark dynamic where power, money, and emotional manipulation collide. And I warn you, the ending is not a resolution, but a terrifying crossroads.
My name is Roxana. I am 47 years old, a mother of 2 teenagers, a son and a daughter, who is just days away from her 18th birthday. After many years of being alone and focusing solely on raising my children, I decided it was time to give myself another chance at love. That's when I met him. He was 56 years old, a successful businessman, and financially very stable. But beyond the comfort his money could provide, what truly drew me in was his personality. He was attentive, present, and carried himself with a chivalry that I hadn't seen in a long time. He wasn't just wonderful to me, he was incredible with my children. He bought them things, helped them with their problems, and seemed genuinely concerned about their well-being. For the first time in years, I felt like I could breathe. I started to think that maybe, just maybe, this was my opportunity to have a stable family again. He eventually proposed something life-changing. He wanted us all to move in with him into his large house in an exclusive neighborhood. It was luxury and comfort we had never known. I won't lie, I thought about it deeply. But even as I looked at the beautiful future he was painting, something inside me wasn't at peace. It wasn't anything concrete. I had no proof of anything wrong, and I couldn't explain it to anyone. It was just a feeling, a nagging intuition that something didn't quite fit. Because of that gut feeling, I decided not to accept the offer to move in. We continued seeing each other, and everything seemed normal on the surface, until that day. I wasn't looking for trouble. I wasn't spying or suspecting. I just happened to be in a part of town I usually wasn't, and that's when I saw her. I saw my daughter coming out of a motel, and she wasn't alone, she was with him.
It still hurts me to even write those words. In that moment, the world didn't explode with a bang, but just went silent. I didn't scream, I didn't make a scene in the street. I simply turned around and left. I needed to understand what I was seeing before I reacted. That night, sleep was impossible. The images played on a loop in my mind. The man I loved and the daughter I raised, stepping out of a place like that. The next day, I confronted him. At first, he denied it, just like they all do. But when I showed him exactly what I knew and where I had seen them, his wall of lies crumbled. And then he said something that left me even more confused and horrified than the betrayal itself. He didn't speak with shame or fear. He looked me in the eye and said he had fallen in love with her. He said it as if it were something real, something pure. I told him that what he was doing wasn't just immoral, it was illegal. I told him I was going to report him to the authorities. And that is when my daughter entered the conversation and delivered the blow that completely broke me. She said she was in love too. She told me that I didn't understand anything, that he made her feel special in a way no one else ever had. And then she dropped the final threat. She told me she would not support any police report or legal action against him. I know in my heart that this isn't love. I know it's an illusion built on expensive gifts, undivided attention, and the lure of his money. But she is blind to it. And the worst part is the clock. In just over a week, she turns 18. I feel my daughter slipping through my fingers. I don't just feel betrayed by a partner. I feel betrayed by my own child. I don't know whether to fight, to run away, or to go through with the report despite her. This was never the life I imagined for us. This is not just a story of a partner being unfaithful. This is a total breakdown of the most sacred boundaries in a family. We have to be very clear about one thing. Just because something appears consensual doesn't mean it is healthy or right. There is a massive power imbalance at play here. 56 years of experience, wealth,
and influence versus 17 years of teenage identity seeking and vulnerability. Roxana's partner didn't just walk into a relationship, he built access. He used gifts and help to lower the defenses of a family and find an opening with a vulnerable young woman. This was a construction, a slow influence that makes it much more dangerous than a one-time mistake. When age, money, and emotional gaps cross paths, the result is the kind of wreckage we see in Roxana's home.
Roxana is now caught in an impossible trap. If she reports him, she risks a permanent rift with her daughter, who refuses to see herself as a victim. If she stays silent, she allows a predator to win and remains a witness to the destruction of her daughter's future. And the legal reality is a ticking bomb. Once she turns 18, the laws and the decisions change completely. So now I ask you, what would you do in Roxana's place? Would you file the report even, if it meant losing your daughter's love forever? Would you cut all ties and walk away to save your own sanity? Or would you try to stay and fight to win her back from a man who has clearly manipulated her heart? Roxana, if you are listening, please know that you are not to blame for the choices of a grown man who should have known better, nor are you failing as a mother for not seeing the invisible. Sometimes life hands us situations that are simply out of control, and finding the path out requires a strength that no one should ever be asked to have. We will be reading your comments carefully because stories like this need the light of a community to be understood.